Hi, everybody. I'm Matt, and I realized after that last slide I need a title change because "do" is not really that awesome, and I think my daughter would actually have a heyday with that slide if she could read. Anyways, I'm going to take you guys through a little bit of our company, but in the process, try to pack in the idea of you guys learning more about coffee in 7 minutes than you possibly could. So Stumptown, we started about 12 years ago out of Southeast Portland, Oregon, and we now have about 8 cafes and 3 roasteries in Portland, Seattle, and New York. We're really happy to be out here in New York. We've got a roastery over in Brooklyn and a cafe in the Ace Hotel in Manhattan and another cafe on the way just around the corner on West 8th. So come visit us if you're in any of those neighborhoods. But this is just a little bit of some of the press we've been in, but I guess that's not really for this audience. A little bit about who we are and what we stand for. Stumptown, some of the things we're known for is our relationships with our producers, our relationships with our employees, and the quality of the products that we offer, and just in general, our pursuit of the ultimate coffee experience. And we believe that we've sort of put ourselves on the map in trying to find the best coffees that the world has to offer, and very simply just offering it to our customers and our customers' customers, and in the process, putting a smile on people's face. So a little bit about our work with coffee farmers. Coffee comes from plants. Most people don't realize that coffee is even an agricultural product, and yet they drink it every single day. They put it in their mouth, they process it through their livers, and basically ingest this product. They have no idea where it comes from. But coffee is a really fascinating, complex beverage that has a story, and I'm gonna tell you that story really, really quickly. Coffee comes from a tree that fruits, basically a bush that fruits once a year. It comes from cherries that looks like pie cherries. I'll show you a picture of that in a minute. And inside each one of those cherries are generally 2 seeds. And that seed actually needs to be depulped and pulled out of the cherry, and then it needs to be generally scrubbed and processed, and everything is really, really manually intensive. Most people don't realize that coffee, before it even gets to you, touches thousands and thousands of hands. So not only the communities that actually farm coffee and support coffee, but also that touch coffee. So this right here is a group of people that their only job in the world is to sort out defect and identify defective coffee beans and set them aside, and also put aside the good stuff so they can get a better price for it. You know, a machine could technically do this, but in rural Ethiopia, it's a job. This is coffee cherry. This is somebody who's really, really proud of their coffee cherry. They're basically presenting this to the world, but in this case to us, and saying, this is my coffee cherry. This is coffee that's been freshly picked. Coffee has to be, within hours of being picked, it has to be stripped of its cherry, put into processing tanks, and so on and so forth. I won't belabor you with all of that piece, but coffee comes from plants. Coffee is an agricultural product. Remember that tomorrow morning. There's a lot that goes into it. In the green there, the basket is defective, or what we would call unripe coffee cherry. Coffee needs to be ripe. The better the ripeness, the better the coffee. So our work is with these farmers. We spend as much time as we can with the actual producers themselves on their farm every single year, year in, year out. And the idea is that we can get that coffee cherry to be even better each year, because a better cherry, a better processed cherry, means a better cup for you guys. So we're really known for our work with our producers. Each one of these places, whether it's a family farm, an individual, a co-op, you name it, a little tiny farm on the hillside of Colombia, or a tiny farm in Rwanda that's as big as this room and maybe has 150 coffee plants, they are producing coffee cherry that we are purchasing. And our goal is to see it get even better every year, but through a process called direct trade, offer them the best price. Typically, we generally break the record for the amount of money ever paid for coffee in a country as a starting point for working with these folks, and it blows their minds. So we're also known for the coffee itself. We're really proud. We're Stumptown Coffee Roasters. So once that coffee travels, changes so many hands, comes all the way across the ocean in many cases on a ship, goes into a port, gets in a truck, and gets trucked all the way up to us. It's green coffee. Then we roast it. It takes about 15 minutes. But we put a lot of love into that. And there's a lot of people that put a lot of love into even preparing that coffee once it gets to that roasted point, and it can all go out the window in about 27 seconds. It can either be done really well or it can be done really poorly, and all that work from those producers can go right out the window. So we try and see to it that whether it's us or our customers, that they put a lot of love into it. Some of the people that do that are our own people. Some of it are baristas that you guys have gotten coffee from here at your local shop in New York, and we train them. A lot of the way that we train and a lot of the way that we explore coffee is to taste it. This is Jim. Jim is our head of quality control. He's done every job in the company, but his job right now is to taste coffee all day long and make sure that every single batch of coffee is as good as it possibly can be. It's a pretty killer job. But also Jim's pretty serious, and we get a better product as a result of it. We're really big on our people. We take care of our folks. You know, the term barista was bastardized long ago, and we've tried to take it back by, you know, giving people an opportunity to have lives and have babies and raise families and own houses by still being a barista and consider it to be a good job. Most of our employees are baristas, and a lot of them have been with us for a long time. Coffee, real quickly, comes from Latin America, Indonesia, and Africa. Those are the main growing regions in the tropics, but pretty much all decent coffee comes from there. Just so you know, you can say that to your friends tomorrow morning. Roasted coffee takes about 15 minutes to roast. It's similar to roasting on like a cast iron skillet. It goes through a series of pops. When you see like a green coffee, it doesn't look like much, and it literally expands and it cracks. It pops like popcorn, and it does it twice. And by the time it's fully done, it's roasted. Most people go way beyond that and over-roast the coffee, which is why when you go into the grocery store, you see coffee sticking to the bins. That's like not a good thing. And we go just to that point of what's called full development, to where it goes through that second crack, and that's it. So coffee's really complex as a beverage. There's not any other beverage like it. And this is Steve. He's our roaster. Just had a second child. He's been with us for 11 years since we opened. And then we have our cafes, and I'm over time. But real quickly, our cafes, a lot of people talk about community and stuff, but you know, we've built community through our cafes. This is where we show the world how good coffee can be, and hopefully you'll come join us at any one of our cafes if you're ever in Portland, Seattle, or New York. But if you're in New York, come by the Ace Hotel and see us. So that's pretty much it.